All right, welcome to the long run. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christy.
And what are we doing today?
We're celebrating 5 years on YouTube.
All right.
Yay. Yay. Okay. We really are excited. I wouldn't say that we always thought that we would make it 5 years. So we hung in there for 5 years.
Yep.
Early on in that first year, when we finished out the first year with probably still only about 100 subscribers, I don't know if I'd have thought I would make 5 years. Like, no. Anyway, we really appreciate you, everyone, whether you've been with us from the beginning or if you just joined us in the last few weeks or whenever, anywhere in between. We really appreciate you being here. We've had a lot of things change for us in the last 5 years. And we've moved 3 times. And one of the times was in the middle of the pandemic from Houston all the way to Florida. So,
yep.
Some of you have been there for it all. So it's been pretty exciting to build a community, especially with those who have, you're always here for us, and we really appreciate it. Yep. Thank you. Hey, we are going to do something special at the end of this live stream, but before we do that, we do want to open this up to a Q&A session. And so if you have any cues, go ahead and give them to us in the comments. We posted on our community page that you could do that. And we only got a few questions, so we don't have a lot. So if you have more things that, whether it's technical questions about buying groceries or anything like that, all the way to, like our favorite Christmas dessert, go ahead and ask, and we'll try to answer those as we go. But we will tell you, over the next couple of weeks, we'll be off and on here on YouTube, just because we always, actually during Thanksgiving, I've got the same amount of videos scheduled as I normally do. So, and then we're going to go into the 12 days of Christmas treats. If you remember, that is the first 12 days of December 1st through the 12th. We will put up a video every single day of some kind of treat that, if you want to eat it, you can, but the real purpose of it is to use them as edible gifts or party foods to take to Christmas parties, just to give you ideas. And they're almost always something we've never had ourselves before. In the beginning, they were things that we used to do, but I started running out of stuff. So I've started using recipes that I find on Pinterest for most of it. But anyway, and we even show you if we find something that isn't necessarily, doesn't necessarily come out the way the pictures look on Pinterest, because we show you if something doesn't quite work out for us, or tell you what we would have done different to make it work, or we just admit if we made a mistake or whatever. We always do that in the 12 days of Christmas trees. I think 3 of them will be on the healthy side. So if you're looking for a more healthy option, never fear. At least 3 of those 12 will be healthy ones, or healthy-ish ones. Because I say healthy-ish because everybody's definition of healthy is different. So you might look at it and go, well, that's not that healthy. But to somebody else, they might think it's super healthy. So it's according to what your definition is of healthy. So it doesn't matter. It could be, in my mind, the most healthiest thing in the whole world. And somebody else might think that I should have used one of the ingredients I use. So that's why we're always careful to say healthy-ish, because something about it might be healthy. But anyway, do we have anybody watching? Can't tell from the, okay. It says one watching. All right, well, I've, what's the word? dragged on. I've
Stretched it out
stretched it out.
as far as you can.
As far as I can.
Okay.
I will say after the 12 days of Christmas trees, we'll have a few more, but then toward the end of the month, like the 20th on through the rest of the month, we're going to be on a road trip. So we probably won't have any videos during that time. We hope that you'll enjoy your Christmas holidays with your family. And that's what we will be going to see my siblings and Joel's family. And then we're going to like go that way because they live in Mississippi. So we'll go that way up to, or reverse because you might be seeing this opposite of me. But anyway, up that way toward Tennessee to see our son and daughter-in-law and be there for our little mini first Christmas and then come back home after that. So it's going to be like a 10-day road trip, something like that.
About that.
Yeah, something like that. Something like that. We'll see. But anyway, we're just going to take it easy and see all our family as much as possible all the way through.
Yep.
So anyway.
All right. Let's get to the questions.
Okay.
All right. So
our friend Sam, and a lot of you may have seen her name before in our comment section. She has been following our channel for probably a year or 2 years, maybe a good while. And she's always really good to comment. And she came up with some interesting questions. So, and these will be the first time that Joel sees these, I think. Yep. Okay. I always do that to him. I don't show him the questions and stuff ahead of time.
All right. On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your level of frugality as a couple and on an individual basis?
6, maybe.
Yeah,
as
6
a
or
couple,
7, probably.
I mean, there are some things that we still do that isn't considered frugal, so we're never going to say 10.
Yeah.
Because we're more of a budget family. Like we do talk about frugal living and things that we do that are frugal, but we also leave room in our budget for things that some people might consider frivolous. So I don't think we could ever say 10. So I'd say like 6 or so.
Sure.
Yeah. And as an individual?
I guess about the same. Yeah. I mean,
I would say we've gone a long way from where we were, which I think one of the questions that's further down might also kind of lean toward the same answer. So I think we'll pick up the individual one when we get to that question, because I feel like that's going to answer that. I mean, like it'll dive into it a little more. So anyway, there's a couple more questions that she left.
All right. Have any of you ever had a desire to really splurge on any kind of purchase, but ended up not doing so, thinking it would be a bad idea, or went ahead and did splurge, not caring about financial consequences, like food, vehicle, apparel, sports equipment, stuff like that?
I would say definitely on the desire to really splurge, but not doing so probably would be mostly in the form of a car. There's been a lot of times that we've gone to dealerships and walked away with no car.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, a lot of the reason why that we end up walking away from not purchasing a car is because my dad taught me when I was young that if they're not willing to negotiate with you on the price of a car, be willing to walk away. And so there's been times when we've gone and sat down with a dealership and they start talking about their price and we've gotten up and walked out.
Yep.
Now that was back in the days when we would use debt to buy cars, and we haven't done that in
10 years, 11 years.
Yeah, 11 years, something like that. Like when Joel lost his job all those years ago and we needed to get rid of car payments and stuff, we traded in our cars on older model cars. And when we did those, that's the last time we bought a car that we didn't pay it in full immediately. I mean, actually, we didn't use debt that day. We had money and savings, and we used that to pay the extra above, because they're never going to let you just like trade in a car and let you drive away with a different car. So we had to pay like $2,000. And we paid that. So even before that, so when we bought the cars that had the car notes was the last time we've ever negotiated a car. And that was prior to our debt-free journey. But there were times like one time we went into a dealership, we didn't even have money for a down payment. And they were like, you could go down to a small loan company down the street and get enough money for the down payment and then come back and use that for your down payment. And I was like, no. No. And we walked away. There's also like one time we went to a dealership and the car was for me. And the dealer kept asking him what he was looking for in a car. And it was like, hello, this one's going to be mine. I'm right here. You should be asking me what I'm looking for. So there's been times like that, and most of the time it was with dealerships. It wasn't anywhere else really that I can think of that we actually just didn't purchase something. Maybe we looked at a couple of houses before we bought our house that we had, and we walked away from those. Just because they weren't necessarily what we were looking for, but it wasn't like we didn't end up buying a house. So I think cars would be the only one that I would say like that.
And look, I walk away from 75-inch TVs every week, so
Yeah, that's true. Also, maybe some timeshares. Like we used to do the thing where we would let the timeshare, say their little spiel so that we could get like one time we came all the way down to Orlando for a convention, but we wanted to also have tickets to Universal Studios, and we sat through a timeshare thing so that we could get the tickets to Universal. And so we probably weren't really going to splurge on that anyway. We were doing it for the free stuff, but I mean, we didn't buy into the timeshare. So, so I guess we didn't then. And then the other one was, or went ahead and did splurge, not caring about the financial consequences. When our kids were really little, we were bad about getting small loans so that we could buy Christmas presents for our kids. Don't recommend you pay for that for a long, long time after Christmas is over. You're still paying for their Christmas presents. Another one would be we took a trip to New York City one time. I will say though, it wasn't a good choice because we put it on credit cards. But on the flip side, one of my bucket list things was to see what's the
Phantom of the Opera.
Phantom of the Opera. It was on my bucket list to see Phantom of the Opera on Broadway. And if we had not seen it when we did, we probably would have never seen it because it's no longer on Broadway. So yeah, we'd have waited a few more years, we wouldn't have had that option, I guess. I don't remember when it went off Broadway. It was on there for so long. I don't know at the time if that would have changed, like that thought process would have, because I don't think we ever thought there'd be a day Phantom wasn't on Broadway. Because it had been there it was the longest running show, right?
I think so.
And I don't, like I said, it could have been 5 or 6 years later. So we certainly could have probably waited a little longer and budgeted for it and stuff. But at the time we just made that decision without any thought. It was like, okay, we can just put it on the credit card, and don't recommend that mentality. All right. And who's the first to say, I want to buy this, we need this? That was the one that I was saying that question from earlier kind of plays into this one as well.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what it is. If it's a big screen TV, it's probably going to be me.
I don't know that they're like, is there something that I say that about?
Oh.
I don't know. I'm the kind of person who can't even go, like if he wants to say go into a gas station and get a candy bar, I can't just buy the candy bar without overthinking it. So I would say it's probably going to be him because I probably overthink every purchase. And like a little bit earlier, right before that we went live, I was looking at some cutting boards and on Amazon because I was wanting to see if there was something besides plastic that we could get, plastic or wood cutting boards. And I looked and every one of them, I pay too much attention to the reviews clearly because every one of them, no matter what they were made of, said, "Oh, there's scratch marks on this thing, or they warped after 3 uses, or they stained." I guess there's no such thing as one that doesn't. You'll also see in a video that we have scheduled for next Wednesday, where we're going Christmas shopping, that I was looking for something and I was struggling with the same problem. I just couldn't make a decision on it. And I will say that in a way that's a good thing because as a frugal person, one of the things that, okay, people think frugal means cheap, but what frugal really means is you research and you make sure that what you're buying is good quality product so that you're not constantly rebuying. And so I guess it's kind of a good thing that before we buy something, I'm sitting there going, what are the reviews? Is it a good quality product? Or like something that will stop me in my tracks. And I can't believe Amazon does this, but they have a little thing that will come up that will say, this is a frequently returned item. Oh, that scares me off real fast. So, and also I will go to Camel before purchasing something on Amazon just to make sure that they haven't like jacked up the price during a big sale to make something look like it's a big deal, but it's really not. Mm-hmm. They do that especially around Black Friday, Amazon Prime days, things like that, where things will be jacked up just to make it look like they gave you this excellent deal when really they didn't give you an excellent deal. So anyway, yeah, so I would always say I highly recommend that if you are looking at things, whether it's a 75-inch TV or a cutting board or Christmas towels, that you do a little research and make sure that it's good quality, that you next year won't be replacing it for something else. Mm-hmm. If you can find it and it's at a thrift store, you can find it and it's at Dollar Tree or Aldi, and it looks like it's sturdy and good quality and won't break easy and stuff like that. If it's kind of flimsy and think twice because you might be purchasing it again next year or the year up, and then the year after that, the year after that. So that's what being frugal is finding the things that actually are a good deal. Yeah. Yep. So that was all the questions that we received. We do have our giveaway that we're about to draw with. We had a lot of entries. I think it was like 83. And we're going to show you that in just a second. While we're doing that, if you have any questions, let us know. If after the live stream, if you watch this later and you have questions that you felt like we could answer for you, again, whether it is frugality related, grocery related, or just our favorite Christmas dessert,
Yep.
then let us know in the comment section. We'll be glad to answer that. All right.
All right, here we go.
Reminder for this giveaway. You have to email us your email address. I'm not going to search out the comment and try to find a way to contact you. You have to contact us.
Yep.
And this is for probably an Amazon gift card, unless that is not something that works well for you.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Here we go.
Woo.
All right. We have a winner.
All right. Andrew Drill, you will need to contact us so that we can send you.
Get your information. Yep.
Yeah, get your information so that we can send you the gift card via email.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So it's in your hands.
That's right.
All right. Thank you. We appreciate you. We look forward to many more years, hopefully. We'll
Yep.
see what is in store for us in 2025. But right now, we plan to keep going, I think. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right. I think that's going to do it. If you're watching this on the replay, drop some comments below and let us know some frugal tips you may have, maybe some questions you may still have about our journey. We'd love to answer those as well.
Yeah.
So.
Or if there's something that you wish that we would do a video on, please
Yeah.
let us know. We'll be glad to try to do that, unless it's doesn't fit into our niche or anything. But
That's right.
But we'll do our best.
All right. Well, that's going to do it today for the long run. I'm Joel.
And I'm Christine.
Don't forget it's the long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Bye.